And we are live. Aiya and welcome. My Govanen. We have in the room, we have Taria. Hello, Taria. How are you doing? And we have Eluenda, one of our newest patrons, and we're really happy that you're here. And there might be a few other people coming in, and that's fine. We'll go ahead and share a couple of things with you guys today. First off, I wanted to introduce, everybody knows Dave probably already, but I wanted to introduce Luthien today if she wants to say hi to all of you.
Hello.
Yeah, so Luthien is the amazing creator who not only has done tons of graphics for us, including the jewelry design, which I will get to here in a moment, but she has also designed, and I'm going to share it with you guys here in a second. Hang on a moment. The westofwest.org forum, which is part of Ilsaluntë Valion, who is our sister group that formed in 2007. And when did you guys create the forum? Do you remember what year that was?
It was late 2007. It was like
it was a little
December.
later, right?
Yeah, it was like in December, but it was a different forum when I first created it. It was a Simple Machines forum, and then when Luthien came aboard, we changed it to PHPBB. So. Okay,
so I wanted to introduce everybody to what the forum looked like. This is, the home page, and I happen to be logged in, so, the view that you're getting is the view that I get when I'm logged in. So, what Luthien did recently, and what we did was we made this an early access for our patrons, where if you have your login with Facebook, we have the link. Actually, if you want to, if you're in the description box or in the Patreon post, either one, there is a link for you to be able to join by logging in with your Facebook login, so you don't have to go through like a lot of different steps. You can just, jump right in. And what we like about the forum versus Facebook is that this is very searchable. It's very good for like long, detailed conversations. It's good for referencing back to things. So we wanted to like kind of make this a place for more discussion, more like Elven information repository, and those kinds of things. So we're just sharing that with you, and then somewhere around here, and I got to find it, but the Tia eldaliéva forum is on here somewhere. Aha! Okay, do you guys see where it says Tia eldaliéva? So this is the Tia eldaliéva forum, and you'll notice it has a little bit different look, and Luthien made our graphic for that. It's wonderful. So we have the Ilsaluntë Valion Discord chat server. We also have a server too for things that we do, on Discord, but we've been using more StreamYard and YouTube, for interfacing with our people. So I just wanted to show all of you guys our new forum. And so there is a link there if you guys want to follow along with the actual ritual in a PDF format. You'll see the link of that in the description, but you'll probably have to log in to the forum with your Facebook ID in order to get to that particular PDF. And then there is a link directly to that post that you can download the PDF. So just thought I would share that with you guys. And I'll remove this because we're going to get to sharing.
If it would
some
help
other stuff.
If it would help,
yes, go ahead.
If it would help the people who are here, I could upload the latest format to my Mega account and then just share that link with the people right now, and then they can get it.
And then like maybe we'll put it in chat and maybe in the comments later for people to get the replay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a great idea. That's a really great idea. For me, it's easier to share with my screen, like to have, and this is like via the StreamYard platform, okay, and we have the free version. Looks like we have 6 people watching us. That's great.
Cool.
I have no idea who the other people are. Let's see, Eluanda, and No, we're not watching ourselves. Okay. It might be some, it is a public ritual, so, I mean, they may not be commenting. That's fine. Welcome. Aiya. We are happy to wish you happy Elven full moon of mists. And we also are celebrating the first day of the Elven Winter, which we also align with the Elven Awakening, which we call Cuivere Quendiva. And it is a holiday that we rounded out the calendar with. So it's not one that Tolkien himself made, although he did determine the first day of winter. That he did do. But what we did was, because there were 7 holidays that Tolkien shared in the Legendarium, and particularly in the Return of the King Appendices. You'll see the holiday schedule. We rounded it out because we needed something that was a little bit extra for, and all of the other seasons have holidays that kind of like match up to them, and winter was the only one that didn't have anything. So we like put that with it, and we did think about using Namo of the Halls of Mondos, but then we thought that he made a better alignment with the fading fire moon. So in October, and so we thought that the moon reference with him was like just a better thing. Vera is here. Awesome. Hey, Makovanen. Like, wonderful. Okay, so one of our other patrons is here today, so this is great. So we're going to get started here with Cuivere Quendiva, but I did want to, so I shared the forum, and I wanted to also tell the patrons here present that we are in the process of getting the necklaces that you guys are going to receive mailed out, and they are going to be stainless steel. I upgraded them because we actually, it costed a little bit more, but I felt that the necklaces that you're getting, they are like, I want them to last you a really long time. I want for people, if they want to wear them every day, that they don't go bad, that they don't tarnish, and that they don't have anything happen to them. So we got stainless steel for all of you guys, and Luthien, you're going to be getting one too.
Cool.
So yeah, because you've been so helpful for us, and just so wonderful. I just, it's hard for me to thank you enough, really, for everything that you do. So we will be doing our Cuivere Quendiva, the PDF, and I'm going to have it scroll on the screen. And we are also going to have a meditation music, which I have aligned up in the, the other window when I have to switch windows for sharing. So I just thought I would let you guys know what we have. I happen to have some water here that I put some flower essences in. I happen to have, I got these special ones from the Moonflower Essences. It's in England, from Sarah, oh my gosh, I'm forgetting her name right now, but she does amazing work with, like, she makes flower essences with the moon and all kinds of stuff. She's really great. And she also works with sacred archetypes for work. And I took the test, and I needed Nurturer and the Connector. So I ordered them, and so that's what I have. But you guys can use whatever flower essences you want, or not flower essences. Like, you can just use flowers. You can just use your mind. You can just put symbols in the water, like our Elven symbol. We can put our Septiquitra, like whatever we want. So, cheers.
Okay, now, Lisa, where should I send the link to the ritual format for? I just uploaded it, so where should I? Should I? I can paste it in. You can
put it in the live chat. So if you want to open a window, let's see.
Well, I don't have the.
You don't have the window. Okay, so.
I don't have the link for the YouTube stream. Is basically it.
Yeah. So what? Okay, you already put it in private chat.
No, I haven't yet.
I see it in private chat, and what I can do is open that up. Okay. Patreon. Okay, so I'm gonna go to Patreon's post and get the YouTube link, and then that way I'll put it in the comments as well, just in case somebody is tuning in and they don't know that the live chat is happening. And I just
posted it into the private chat. That's
excellent. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me pause this. Okay. We've got... Okay, so I've already shared the forum. We have... Okay, StreamYard. Okay, here is the Mega NZ file. Okay, I'm copying link address. I'm going to Isilhisimë. Okay, ritual format. Okay, I'm typing it in for anybody that wants it. So it's in the live chat now, and then I'm going to scroll down, and I'm also going to put it in comments.
Right, okay.
Oh, I guess that I'm not able to put it in comments right now because we're live streaming. Mm-hmm. So I'll follow up with that. Okay. Let me see. I'm going to, you know what I'll do? I'll put it in a different browser window for me. Okay, and it doesn't change, right? It like stays like it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Unless I delete the file, you know, then it just won't work. But,
okay, and don't delete it. Yeah. So this way I have it, so I'll add it to the comments after the stream.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So Eluenda says it worked. I see it. So that's brilliant. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate that. Okay. So I'm going to get out of the video part so that it doesn't automatically make me echo to myself. That's the one I'm saving. This is the wave sound. That's the Cuivere Quendiva document, which I want to put back into the live stream. So let me share the screen with that. Okay, Chrome tab. Cuivere Quendiva. Okay. So, let me switch the formatting, just switch us to the bottom. So that's, do you guys see everything? Everything looks good?
Yep.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so I'm going to switch back to the regular chat. Okay, ritual format. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm caught up. So wonderful. We'll get started here with Cuivere Quendiva. And guys, stay tuned to your Patreon email about receiving your address if we haven't received that, so that we can mail out your necklace when it comes. The ones who are in the EU or at least in the European side of the world, you guys are all taken care of. You'll be receiving your particular necklaces probably in about 2 weeks. That's what the seller said. They're going to be coming, I believe, from the Czech Republic. So they're mailing me a bulk package. So we did this to save money, and then I can mail all the, things to everybody once I get their addresses. So several of you, I've already gotten your address, but some of you I have not. So I just wanted to say, just be looking for your Patreon email so that you can get me your address. Or some of you have sent me a message on Messenger on Facebook or Instagram, and that's okay too. I do need to probably put all of these in one place so that when I get ready to, do all of the addressing envelopes and packaging and stuff, that we get this out. So, by the way, Dave, I don't know what happened, but I see your icon now.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I'm not sure what happened.
I had, because I use my laptop, but the lid's closed, so it was broadcasting darkness. So I had to turn the camera off. So.
Okay, well, whatever works. Okay, so we're going to get ready for Cuivere Quendiva and Isilhisimë. And Isilhisimë, just briefly, because I'm not sure like how much we address it in this particular ritual, because I only had time to scan through it. But Isilhisimë in Tia eldaliéva aligns with Este the Gentle. She is the one who helps us heal when we physically sleep. And her spouse is Irmo, or Lorien, of the Gardens of Lorien. And he is the brother of Halls of Mondos, okay? And so there is a lake called Lorelin, and then they spend time on an island in Valinor, and that's where they reside. So, yeah, Este the Gentle. So if you're more curious about her energy, I did link a Tolkien Gateway link in the description. I just wanted to like preface that because I didn't want to ignore the fact that we had a full moon, and then whoops, the longest eclipse of 580 years or something crazy like that. It was like 6 hours long from the beginning to end, and it wasn't even a complete, you know, like it wasn't even a total eclipse. It just so happened that it was just slow crossing it, and that's why it took so long. So very powerful energetically though. That was, I was feeling something going on. Okay, like just even though I couldn't see it because we had fog, how very appropriate for the Moon of Mists. We had fog that night here on the West Coast. Okay, so, okay, we're gonna go ahead and start with Cuivere Quendiva, the 2021 version. Okay, I'll read the awakening of the Quendi. Is that right?
Yeah.
Do I read that or?
Probably, yeah. Because
okay, that's fine. Okay, bright is the sun today, and clear are the airs. The day is graced with a warmth uncommon, and the beauty of Yahweh lingers, blessing the new winter with temperance and light. What a night it will be! For these virtues will follow the sun nigh, lingering at the gate, as they may trail behind the vessel of Isil's Lord. To us, dark be his sails, and the stars show bright as they twinkle and glow. Hearken ye in thy mind to a night long ago, when their light alone roused the fair firstborn from their timeless slumber. May ever beauty and wonder, which was theirs, be in their heart, shining from thee with the unending beauty of Elentari's splendor. And that is from Eruanlas, from 2009's Isilnarquelie format, which is really wonderful. It's a beautiful poem. Beautiful prose, I should say. So the preparation here, like again, cup, bowl, water, whatever you have, and you don't even have to have anything. Okay, you could literally just be yourself. If you want to use your hands as a, you know, like a vessel for water, you know, that you pretend is in there, and use your mind for whatever you have. This is a whatever you have. But sometimes people like to have things in order to ground in their presence, you know, like they want to light a physical candle. They want to, you know, hold a physical, you know, glass of water. They want to hold a flower. They want to have, you know, something that like resonates with, you know, maybe some crystals, right? So I happen to have a howlite. It's gray, it matches. You know, Moon of Mists and gray raiment for, you know, Este the Gentle. So I happen to have a howlite, and this particular howlite came from a candle that I burned down recently that was for rebirth. So it's pretty applicable, I think. So that's what I have with me. You can have whatever it is that you like, and there's some suggestions here on the preparation. Do we do the blessing sign before we do Linde Ellen Lote? Because I'm not familiar with your ritual format.
We can do it either way, but normally we do it before. But
okay, let's do it before. So there's a schematic next to where it says preparation, and you guys can just do that in front of you, and I'm going to do that right now. So circle and a V, and then a partial circle, and then an upside down V. And then we use our hand in Fear Not Mudra for sealing the energies as we start. Into the stillness, wandering into the place where we saw the last reddened brilliance of the retreating sun, its echo glimmering on the water. I became aware of a wonderful stillness, more profound than in any other place of a great beauty. As we settled amid the fragrant cedar trees, the stillness entered into us and turned our awareness to a time when the world was younger and the brilliance of the stars roused the first of the Quendiva from the unknown depths of their slumber. Was their awe like mine as they wandered into the waters? Was their awareness like yours as they gazed up, beholding the stars that inspired their first joyous words? Did these sounds echo the beauty of the stars to which they rose? Rise now once more, those same stars that graced the Quendiva in that wondrous time, silent, new and pure. We are all blessed, and may we be touched with that same enduring light as we step full into our own awareness, echoing the footfalls of those who walked before us. Laita and blessings. And that is from Aaron Loss's 2010 Cuivere Quendiva. That is beautiful.
Yeah, it's
just
wonderful.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, Aaron Loss. We really appreciate this. So I will, and this painting here, this is Ted Nasmith's Cuivere Quendiva. Like we use this, like, because it's the awakening of the elves at Lake Cuivienen. Is that correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's actually like kind of a longer painting, but I see why we only, like have a part of that here. But if you guys can have time later, not right now, but if you visit Ted Nasmith, NASMITH.com later, look up Lake Cuivienen or the awakening of the elves, and you'll see the full version of this painting. It's gorgeous. I love it. Okay. Linde Ellenlote, the Song of the Starflower. So it's a slightly different order than Tia eldaliéva, because Tia eldaliéva, we use the Septuquitra as an alignment, but this still works. So we're all fine with this. This is Ilsaluntë Valion's format that we're doing, and it works. So we're gonna like roll with it. Okay. So we want to touch our forehead. We intone Menel, which means heavens. Menel. And then we point downward, covering our groin area. And we intone Arda, which means the earth. Arda. And now we touch our left shoulder, and we intone Telperion, which is the elder silver tree. Telperion. And now we touch our left hip, and we intone Eleni, which means stars. Eleni. And we touch our right shoulder, and we intone Laurelin, which is the younger golden tree. Laurelin. now we touch our right hip and we intone Valar, which are the powers, basically the Elven pantheon. Valar. And we rest our hands on our heart and we intone Eru, who is Eru Ilúvatar, the all that is, the source. Eru. And now we move our hands out in a small circle and back to our heart, and we intone Aiya. So do we go clockwise or do we do it forward like this?
I kind of do forward. Normally, I do forward.
Okay, let's do it forward. Oh, okay, wait, forward like upwards and down. Okay, like because that feels better. Okay. Aiya. Let's do it again. And we'll do it one more time, and I'm going to change the tone a little bit, but you guys can stay in the same tone.
And now I will read Aligning with a Sacred Sphere. Be aware of the earth plane, the four directions, its seasons, its many mansions, and the ground beneath you. Send your awareness upward into the realm of air, its vastness, the stars and planets, and the three divisions of its realm, Vilna, Ilwi, and Vaita, in order from the surface of the ground upwards. Intone Manwë's Valaran name, Manawanuz, Manawanuz, allowing it to attune your consciousness to the heights. Next, send your awareness downward to experience the realm of sea, its immensity and intrinsic power, its mystery and life. Feel the outer reaches of the encircling seas of I. Intone Ulmo's Valaran name, Ulobosh, Ulobosh, and allow it to attune your consciousness to the depths. Return your awareness to the earth plane and experience the realm of earth, plane of union. Be aware that all the realms meet and merge here. Intone Aule's Valaran name, Agua Ulesh, Agua Ulesh, and allow it to attune your consciousness to the earth. Send your awareness outward to encompass the sphere of Arda. Be aware that you are the epicenter of this sphere with its three realms, and that all of its energies unfold around you, connecting you to all. And now I'll read the Cuiviene, the legend of the awakening of the Quendi. While their bodies were first being made from the flesh of Arda, the Quendi slept in the womb of the earth beneath the green sward, and awoke when they were full grown. But the first elves, also called the unbegotten or the Eru-begotten, did not all wake together. Eru had so ordained that each should lie beside his or her destined spouse. But three elves awoke first of all, and they were elf men, for elf men are more strong in body and more eager and adventurous in strange places. These three elf fathers are named in the ancient tales Emin, Tata, and Enel. When they awoke in that order, but with little time between each, and from them, say the Eldar, the words for 1, 2, and 3 were made, the oldest of all numerals. Emin, Tata, and Enel awoke before their spouses, and the first thing that they saw was the stars, for they woke in the early twilight before dawn. And the next thing they saw was their destined spouses lying asleep on the green sward beside them. Then they were so enamored of their beauty that their desire for speech was immediately quickened, and they began to think of words to speak and sing in. And being impatient, they could not wait, but woke up their spouses. Thus, the Eldar say, that the first thing each elf woman saw was her spouse, and her love for him was her first love, and her love and reverence for the wonders of Arda came later. Now, after a time, when they had dwelt together a little, and had devised many words, Emin and Eminye, Tata and Tatie, Eniel and Elinye walked together and left the green dell of their waking, and they came soon to another larger dell, and found there 6 pairs of Quendi, and the stars were again shining in the morrow dim, and the elf men were just waking. Then Eamon claimed to be the eldest and to have the right of first choice, and he said, I choose these 12 to be my companions. And the elf men woke their spouses. And when the 18 elves had dwelt together a little, and had learned many words and devised more, they walked on together. And soon, in another even deeper and wider hollow, they found 9 pairs of Quendi, and the elf men had just waked in the starlight. Then Tata claimed again the right of choice, and he said, I choose these 18 to be my companions. Then the elf men woke their spouses, and they dwelt and spoke together, and devised many new sounds and longer words. And then the 36 walked abroad together, until they came to a grove of birches by a stream. And there they found 12 pairs of Quendi, and the elf men likewise were just standing up, and looking at the stars through the birch boughs. Then Enel claimed the right of third choice, and he said, I choose these 24 to be my companions. Again the elf men woke their spouses, and for many days the 60 elves dwelt by the stream, and soon they began to make verse and song to the music of the water. At length they all set out together again, but Eamon noticed that each time they had found more Quendi than before, and he thought to himself, I have only 12 companions, though I am the eldest. I will take a later choice. Soon they came to a sweet-smelling firwood on a hillside, and there they found 18 pairs of Quendi, and all were still sleeping. It was still night, and clouds were in the sky, but before dawn a wind came, and roused the elf men, and they woke and were amazed at the stars, for all the clouds were blown away, and the stars were bright from east to west. And for a long time the 18 new Quendi took no heed of the others, but looked at the lights of Manel. But when at last they turned their eyes back to earth, they beheld their spouses, and woke them to look at the stars, crying to them, Ellen, Ellen, and so the stars got their name. Now Eamon said, I will not choose yet again. I will not choose again yet. And Tata, therefore, chose the 36 to be his companions. And they were tall and dark-haired, and strong like fir trees. And from them most of the Noldor later were sprung. Sorry, I lost my place. Let's see. Oops.
And the 96 Quendi now spoke together, and the newly waked devised many new and beautiful words, and many cunning artifices of speech. And they laughed, and they danced upon the hillside, until at last they desired to find more companions. Then they all set out again together, until they came to a lake dark in the twilight, and there was a great cliff about it upon the east side, and a waterfall came down from the height, and the stars glittered on the foam. But the elf men were already bathing in the waterfall, and they had waked their spouses. There were 24 pairs, but as yet they had no formed speech, though they sang sweetly, and their voices echoed in the stone, mingling with the rush of falls. Go ahead and take over, Dave.
Okay. But again, Eamon withheld his choice, thinking, next time it will be a great company. Therefore Enel said, I have the choice, and I choose these 48 to be my companions. And the 144 Quendi dwelt long together by the lake, until they all became of one mind and speech, and were glad. At length Eamon said, it is time now that we should go on and seek more companions. But most of the others were content. So Eamon and Eminye and their 12 companions set out, and they walked long by day and by twilight, in the country about the lake, near which all the Quendi had awakened, for which reason it is called Cuivienen. But they never found any more companions, for the tale of the first elves was complete. This is from the Appendix of War of the Jewels, which is History of Middle-earth, Volume 11, and Tolkien adds a little footnote, actually written in style and simple notions to be a surviving elvish fairy tale or child's tale, mingled with counting lore. That's why you hear that, each time the pairs get larger, and then he either decides to join this one or withhold the choice. So that's kind of interesting. I always love this story.
Yeah.
And now,
really
Luthien,
cool
you can
story.
take over with the reading of the poem here.
Yeah, that's okay. I wrote this, I think, back in 2009 already, so it might be a little bit outdated, given some new things that were found in in the resources by the editorial team. It's okay. Here goes. Thilio dinumin, Eastern mani en het lien. Am dachsola amarnin, men elvir silordin. Thilio dinumin, Eastern mani en het lien.
That is such a cool interpretation. Wow. Beautiful. And I love the picture down here too.
Yeah, it's great.
Is that one of yours also, Luthien?
Yeah, that's the blender one, actually.
It's beautiful. It reminds me of Venus, because right now Venus is very, very high in the western sky upon sunset. And it's about to go retrograde in December. And so when that happens, it's really, really, elevated, and we can see it, and it's very bright right now.
Yeah, indeed.
And for those of you who don't know, I should probably let you guys know this. So Venus in the Legendarium happens to be Eärendil, which is one of the Silmarils. What happened was, when the Silmarils were created, and I'm very much shortening this, okay? The Silmarils were created by Feanor, which was one of the elven sons of the Noldor, okay? And various things were happening, but one of them ended up at the bottom of the sea. One of them ended up in the earth, not to be found. And the other one, Eärendil, has on his brow attached, and he steers the ship that allows the Silmaril to shine for everyone to see. And so he trades sides between the eastern and the western side of the sky. And that happens to be what, we know as Venus. So I wanted to let you know, like, if you guys didn't know that was Venus. And I do think that Venus was an important star to our, to like our ancestors. It was one of the original timekeepers, like not just the sun and the moon, but also Venus, because of the synodic cycle being so regular and so predictable, that it was used before we had an atomic clock to measure time. So I just thought I would mention that, because I'm an astrologer weirdo, and Dave is an astronomer weirdo, and we are all about the stars, because, elves are the star people, right? So meditation, communing with the stellar radiance. So do I narrate this part also, or does one of us?
I can do it, but you normally
Okay.
in TE, you normally lead the people into meditation, which is what this is going to segue into. So,
Okay. And I do have my handy dandy timer cell phone. So let me see how long we should do for meditation, like with the lake music, or the lake sounds, I should call it. Yeah, it's saying about 10 minutes. Okay, so this should be okay. So communing with the stellar radiance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the timer, and I'm going to set it up for 10 minutes ahead of time. And then I'll push timer like when it's ready.
Just let you know, the purple text you don't read out loud. That's just instructions for the meditation leader.
Okay. Okay. So that's a beautiful picture too. Okay. Thank you for that little tip. So we want to calm and we want to center ourselves and take several slow, deep breaths. And if you have some water, go ahead and drink a little bit before we get going. In the mind's eye, we want to imagine Helluin, which is Sirius, as it sparkles above the horizon. And we notice the scintillating colors within as the light passes through the winds in the atmosphere. We want to keep our gaze soft. We want to allow Helluin to fill in our vision. Be aware of the earth beneath you, supporting you as Helluin's blue-white radiance permeates your whole being. And you want to pay attention to how this feels, a gentle, cool tingling. And also note how the light glimmers on our hands and our arms. Know that this very same radiance once graced the Quendi when they awoke from the sleep of Iluvatar. As you breathe in slowly, allow Helluin's radiance to enchant you. And as you breathe out, let it take you through the veil and transport you into the imaginal realm. It takes you to a place near Cuivienen, back to the day when its light first grazed the lands and the waters of Arda, and the firstborn were awaking. You find yourself standing on a forest path. The blue of deep night surrounds you. You follow the path for a short while until the sheer face of a great wall of stone rises up before you by the light of the stars above. You see a passage in the face of a rock. You enter, realizing as you walk in the darkness that the path descends ever deeper into the mountain, turning into a narrow cleft that cuts through the mountain. The air is quiet, the cool stone around you often touching your shoulders and hands as you move forward. After a few minutes, you emerge from the cleft and find yourself in a hill-encircled valley. You step on the lush grass, and beauty fills your senses. There is a clear lake in the center of the valley, fed by the waters of several streams. You can hear the water burbling over the stone. There is also the rush of a large waterfall somewhat further away to your right. A gentle wind carries the fragrance of night flowers and pine trees, and the stars above illuminate the forms of people sleeping in the grass of the gentle hills that surround the lake. And as you draw closer, you see that some of them have awakened, and you recognize them as the first of the Eru begotten Quendi. You step quietly into the mist and allow their awe to become yours as you settle into the tall grass and observe the stars above. As the hushed tones of their first words enter your awareness, we allow the experience to unfold. And I'm going to start the meditation music now. For 10 minutes. When you are ready, we want to bid the firstborn farewell and silently, gracefully thanking them for the opportunity to have been with them. Look around you for a low hilltop nearby where you can be alone, apart from the Quendiva. When you have found it, quietly walk toward it. It's not far, but isolated enough to put distance between yourself and the Quendiva. Look up to the sky and find Helluin again. It is by far the brightest star in the sky. It was then as it is now. As you gaze at the star, you marvel again at how it sparkles, mostly blue-white, but there are glimpses of other hues as well. Allow Helluin's radiance to again infuse you from head to toe and feel how it invigorates you. Breathe in slowly, taking up the magical panorama of Cuivienen and the Quendiva by the lakeside one more time. The perfume of the air, the sound of the water, creating an extraordinarily vivid memory in the Elvis fashion. Breathe out and let the light of Helluin take you back through the veil that separates the realms back to the physical space that you are in right now. And we want you to have a very blessed Cuivere, Quendiva. So the circle is open. And if you're still feeling a little bit lightheaded, you may want to put a little bit of salt on the tip of your tongue, maybe even a drink of water. If you have food handy, that can sometimes get you back in your body. So we'll go ahead and stop sharing the document. And I guess, well, maybe we'll do it this way. Yeah, okay. Because then there's something to look at, right?
Right.
So we wondered how you guys experienced that. I'll just share a little bit with what I experienced, and I was doing the narration, and I'm managing a lot of things and the timer and everything, but I was feeling like, because I see colors a lot of times, and I kept seeing shades of green, blue, and purple over and over again. So I have a feeling that it was like more of a clearing of the upper chakras, like from the heart and then the throat, which I'm actually like clearing right now. I can feel something actually as I speak. There's something actually leaving that area, which I'm like, okay, I let it go. I want to align in the higher energies, and I want to, speak joy as much as possible, because just like how the Ainur sang Aiya into existence, we need to be careful about what we say and what we bring into existence. So I try as much as I can to speak joy, but I also realize that we need to speak truth sometimes. But it's a matter of navigating what is worth speaking, and what is not worth speaking. And for everybody, that is a different balance. But I'll say this, when it's out of balance for you, you experience throat blockage. So either you're supposed to say something or you're not supposed to say something. So, figure those kinds of things out. Everything is kind of an individual case. And for me, I was getting that it's about saying something, and because I've been silent, and, I just need to tell you guys what's going on, right? So I need to maybe connect a little bit more. I have been pretty busy I'm getting ready to move again. Hopefully this time for a little while. And it's a very unique situation in Los Angeles that I didn't think that I would run into. And I'll be there in December. So I just wanted to let everybody know that I'm trying to get a little bit more rooted than I have been, because it's been like kind of a little bit rough for me this year, because I had like different this and that and the other. And so I just wanted to tell you that for me, it felt like an upper chakra clearing, particularly my mental body and my throat chakra. And I wondered what anybody else felt.
I can tell my meditative experience if you want.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, well, my first view, I'm a very visual person, so to me these are like, it's almost like seeing a movie from the point of view of a regular person. But I saw Cuivienen and the Eldar waking up, and then I saw it looked like beams of light passing through the actual lake. And at first I didn't know what that was, because it didn't seem to make sense. And then I met some of the Quendi. Couldn't really speak to them because they hadn't developed most of their language yet. But and then the scene shifted, and it seemed that those beams of light had something to do with Feanor's experiments pre-Silmarils. In other words, you can read in the Silmarillion where he was experimenting with artificial gems, basically, and trying to capture the light of the two trees, but they weren't Silmarils yet. There was something about that beam collimation of the starlight through the waters of Lake Cuivienen that had something to do with the Silmarils. I don't know precisely what, but that was a strong indication, a strong inference that I got. And then and that was about it. Aside from scenes of Taniquetil, the great mountain in Valinor, but beyond that, then the end of meditation bell rang, and then the vision ended. So,
okay, oops, maybe we should have had it longer for you, huh?
Have any
That's
of the
really cool. So did you feel that you had kind of a glimpse into like possibly some of the technology that Feanor was accessing?
Yeah, at
when
least
he was creating the Silmarils?
At least through observation. I don't really know precisely what he was doing, but yeah.
Right. Like you kind of got a piece of like what he was trying to do. Wow, that's just crazy. That's so cool. Wow. The lake, I mean, so it was more of a feeling for me than it was, the sound of that meditation. That was actually a good meditation track, I think. So I linked it into the description of the video, as well as added it to the Patreon post, because I want to keep that one. And so I want to be able to reference this again. And I also like the lake music because of the fact that Este the Gentle resides on an island in Lake Laureline in Valinor. Right. So it was perfect for even, the full moon of mists to access that lake energy. And so, and I'm concentrating more right now on my healing process. And I was holding my howlite here, which I don't know if you can see, like it's a light gray rock. It almost has like some bluish tone, and then it has like some darker veining in it. I see that. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. So, and I know I have the green screen on behind me, but so I look a little bit animated right now. So, so I was holding this while I was, meditating and stuff. And I do think that the recent moon eclipse, and we have another eclipse coming on December 4th that is going to also be a little bit more of like, some stuff that we're dumping out in order to make room for the new energies that are coming in, and right in time, before, Venus goes retrograde. So I was like really, really planning to like just leave behind as much as I could
Now, would this be
into the waters of awakening, into the origins, and like really, and in some sense, reclaim, you know, that original healing, you know, story, and asking Este for that help, as well as, you know, observing the Quendi upon awakening, and how magical that must have been before all of the damage of Morgoth on Arda. And, you know, although, I mean, and by the way, it's all sacred, I guess, like even right now with all of the hardship of the world, it's all, you know, it's all part of the process. You know, it just doesn't feel as fun, you know, as it does like when, you know, things are going very pleasantly well. You know, we have these, you know, these meat suits, right, that like do a lot of feeling. And, you know, we don't like, well, okay, most of us don't like pain. I mean, you know, there's some people that might like pain. I don't like pain. And so I, you know, wish to access elven wisdom as much as possible in order to navigate my life so that I have better foresight and avoid a lot of pain. That's my idea. Now, it's not always possible, you know, and certainly through our pain, we learn a lot of things too. Being in human, you know, in human form, we often learn the hard way. So, but do we want to do it like when we don't have to do it? Probably not. Like, I don't. I'm just, I would like to learn in ways that are like, I guess, a little bit easier on my vessel here, because, you know, in that, well, we haven't really been able to, like, you know, do that whole dialed in on the Elven DNA thing yet. Okay. And I think that Arda is still doing ascension work right now, and that the ages are changing, and we were in the age of men, and it's changing right now. I really think that, you know, the age is starting to flip, and that's why our path is here, for the people that actually feel that pull, that, you know, that access to the elven energies, that desire to, you know, return to our original form, you know, and that the stories, these stories particularly, like really touch us deeper than anything else that we've ever encountered. And I feel like all of us are, you know, just doing our own process of like really getting to that place of purification, you know, and, you know, going forward with that, you know, as much as we can, the original, you know, blueprint of what Eru Ilúvatar always imagined. Although I know that, you know, even the whole Melkor thing is part of his plan too. You know, part of that is a learning experience so that we can value what it is that we have, and humans learn by contrast. So it's just how it is. I try to, like, you know, learn anyway, but, you know, even I learn from contrast sometimes.
Do any of our viewers did they want to share anything, or? So
I haven't seen them type up anything. So
okay.
Last I know, Vera, Eluenda, and Taria are in the room. I have not seen anybody else pop into the comments.
Okay.
And so, yeah, you guys, if you feel like you want to share like what happened with your meditation, feel free. And if you don't have time, or you had to leave, or something happened, you can come back later to the same link that we gave you and just type it in the comments. Okay. And I would also like to remind all of you who are watching the video, either in, you know, the live stream or the replay, to make some time and visit the forum, westofwest.org, and then click forum. Or you can use the link down below and use your Facebook to log in. If you do it the other way, you use your email to log in. And a lot of people don't check their email anymore. So we made a way for you to just log in with your Facebook ID. so that you can go deeper. And actually, I guess I need to refashion the group so that the forum is a pinned post at the top, because I'd like to move.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Some of the conversations that we're having on Facebook, because I think, so here's how I envision this, you guys, and if you have input, let me know. I envision Facebook as like a, hey, here's what's happening. It's like more of a news. It's like, Elven news. Okay, like, hey guys, we're going to do ritual. Hey guys, we're going to this, that, and the other. It's more of, to me, an outreach for, us getting a hold of you to let you guys know what we're doing.
Exactly. Whereas the forum is a more or less permanent information repository, and it's a lot easier to search. On Facebook, things get buried.
They get buried, and not only that, but it does not encourage a deep conversation. It moves on to the next thing, and it's just not conducive of the deep work that this path is capable of. And certainly over the years, Ilsaluntë Valion has done a lot. I mean, we do deep work, but you guys way went down the deep, and that needs to be accessed, and that needs to be interacted with by our patrons, and even at this point, the public. We're inviting the interested public.
Right.
Okay. Because there are certainly some people that don't belong in the forum. We're not inviting trolls or, anything. Right. And I believe that it's pretty heavily moderated. That is not put up with very, very much.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, well, we don't allow, the average person who just wants to come in and say, you guys are a bunch of losers, yo.
But I mean, so I do understand that, many people are maybe not on the Elven path, but what we discuss in the forum has to do with the Elven path. So you can study the Elven parts of you, and you can, talk about how they interact with you and your belief system, whether it's Christianity, whether it's, neo-paganism, whether it's, shamanic, witchcraft. We don't care, okay? As long as it's loving and as long as it's sovereign in your energy and in the highest good of you, as well as the highest good of the planet. We welcome all kinds of viewpoints, but what the danger is that it could stray off topic pretty easily and go into, other places. So we only ask that you bring in your pathway in the intersection of how the Elven path helps you with your pathway. Like if you want to stay with your pathway, how does the Elven path inspire that? That's the kind of stuff we want to hear. Okay, Vera says, I still use my email, and I appreciate you sending me more information through email. Okay.
So do I, by the way.
You can actually log in with your email address. You can, earlier in the video, I know you weren't here yet, but earlier in the video, we went to westofwest.org and I clicked on forum, and then it shows you how you can join the forum with your email address. Absolutely. If you like email, please, that's even better. Actually, we like that. I had joined a long time ago and I used email, and I still get email. I signed up for the weekly updates so that all the boards that have new information, I get notified about. So I can look. Also, there's threads that I follow that I literally get any kind of responses that I get an email response about that. And you can change your settings with, hey, I just want to respond here, but I don't want to get, the follow-up comments, and I just want to keep those in my bulk, once a week. You can do that too. You can change your settings, and that's something that's really, really hard to do in Facebook. And as Facebook is continuing to change, into, I don't know what it is, but you know, this
Nobody
whole
knows
quote
what
meta thing that's using the lemniscate, you know, infinite access to us. I just get that is not to our benefit. Okay, like it's going to be more to, you know, Zuckerberg's benefit than ours. So the more that we can move away from Facebook, the more happy that we will be. And this format, this forum that westofwest.org has, that Ilsaluntë Valion has, it's great. And I'd like to see more conversations and deeper research and deeper projects and like even group projects happen on the forum. I really like to see that in the future.
We also have areas set aside for people to share their meditative experiences, which aren't viewable to either to lower echelon new members or to the general public or out there. So
right.
you
because some people don't want to put like because I could see how it would be vulnerable on YouTube and especially in the format form. So yeah, if you actually want to share your experience, but with, you know, our container like of only special people, I would recommend the forum for that. And we'll be linking the forum down in the comments as well as live chat. And,
by the way, we can also customize the access to only certain people if you like.
Okay, and actually, so, I mean, definitely not the bots, like, you know, ixnay those, like, because there's lots of those, like, you know, the fake things that find their way and that they, like, bypass the, you know, the, you know, type in, you're not a robot, right? Those things. Ixnay everything that looks like a bot. Okay, but for right now, I would like to welcome in people and, you know, and hopefully, you know, if they're, you know, a shit starter, like, let's just say, like, I mean, we're going to find out right away, you know, and then we'll just take that away and, you know, consider this fair warning if that's what you want to do. Also consider it fair warning if you are, because we've had this happen in the past, like where people come in and like, you know, like borrow the materials and we are totally all about you borrowing materials. And if you want to, like, let's say that you want to publish some stuff, you can ask us for permission for our material. Now, you know, the Tolkien estate, we'll try to navigate that with you a little bit and let you know what is Tolkien estate, what is ours, okay, and what is like even somebody else's. And then for the Tolkien estate, there's certain kinds of permissions that you would need to have in order to do some, like, so there's a lot of layers with Tolkien, okay, because of the way that the estate has structured the way that they operate copyright. So there is fair use as long as it's a non-fiction application. Okay, a spiritual path is a non-fiction application, and that's why we're able to like use the material. And we never go overboard and use too much material, you know, so that people wouldn't buy the books. You see what I'm saying? So we don't do that. We use the relevant part of the material. But there, you know, we cannot, you know, use the art, the lyrics for, you know, songs and poems. We can't use a couple of other things, but we can use some of the other things. And so, like, we navigate that pretty carefully so that we don't get in trouble. I recently had a guy on Instagram block me because he told me I was breaking the law, and I told him, no, we're a non-fiction use of the path, and I know what we have to do. My publisher, you know, tells me the rules, and he was like, I'm not having it, and just left. And I'm like, okay, see you later. And he was like one of the language nerds, and not even Edward. Okay, Edward is making. Okay, I have another news flash. Okay, so I'm a member of the World Elvish Language Association. I think that's what it's called on WELA, on Facebook. And Eduard Klosko is an actual real live linguist. And and the only linguist that is actually involved in Elvish, to my knowing. Okay, I am eagerly looking forward to his book, and I think that we also need that in the Tia Eldaliéva library when it happens. He's going to be having a fundraiser pretty soon, and I really want because Edward can be very, he's very like particular, right? And that hurts a lot of people's feelings, okay? But what I like about Edward is that he knows the difference between J.R.R. Tolkien and Christopher Tolkien, which it's different, okay? And some of the language things and like the origins of where some of these things come from. And he is what I would call a purist. In other words, he only wants the sourcing from the man himself, J.R.R. Tolkien, who is unfortunately not accessible in 3D anymore. He's not on the planet anymore, right? And hasn't been since the 70s.
73.
So, yeah, 1973. So, Vera also says that she uses Messenger. So, and Eluenda. Okay. Oh, Eluenda had said earlier while we were talking about astrology and astronomy, she says astronomy weirdos unite. So yes, that's awesome. So, and we can unite on the forum. Actually, there's some really good material that Dave and I participate to the way that I can because I'm more of an astrologer. And it's kind of interesting because I do see resonance between some of the things in astrology and Tolkien. But astronomy and Tolkien, oh yeah, I think that there's even more. So that's really cool. And Moonflower Fairy is here. Oh, hey, how's it going? Yay, she gave us a purple heart.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So anyways, okay, so next month, okay, I'm going to give you guys a little foreshadowing here. Next month on December 19th, we're going to do it at the same time and in a similar form as this for Ilsaluntë Valion and doing their ritual format because, again, we're promoting the forum. We're trying to get people to come to the forum. We really think that it's going to be a great resource for both patrons as well as the interested public, like deeply interested public. Like this is a public service.
Yeah, and one of the things that's very unusual about our spiritual paths is that we're the only forum that I know of that's dedicated to the spiritual exploration of Tolkien versus just a general fan fiction or fan base, forum. We're very different.
Dave.
Yeah. A
spiritual emphasis rather than just a story emphasis or imagination emphasis.
Right.
There is, some places do talk about the spirituality, but they do it within systems that are already existing, if you will.
Mm-hmm, right.
Or they look at it like a scientist dissects, like an animal. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, ooh, this is interesting, and then move on, right? They're not like looking at it like as a human trying to learn elven wisdom and practice it in a path and then access that energy. And one of the best ways to do that is through, pausing in the year and like doing the calendar and then learning about each of the Valar at certain times, as well as things like speaking Elvish, doing crafts and art, getting close to nature. And if you do anything technological, you want to make sure that magic and technology are balanced with nature, like so that they all three have like a balanced expression. Humans tend to go heavy on the technology side and kind of light on the magical and natural side of the spectrum. So we want to bring things back into more of a natural balance and be more with the Arda, the earth, who, by the way, would shake us off like a case of bad fleas if she wanted to right now. So she really loves us right now.
Hey, can I just break in for a second because
Absolutely.
I really need to leave because I'm really tired.
Okay, and it's pretty late for you, and we thank you
it's
for
quite late for
staying
me.
here
Okay.
as late as you have,
Thanks.
Luthien. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
It was wonderful.
Thank you for joining in. Yeah.
Thanks for letting me share. It was really lovely. Hope to be there next time as well.
Okay. Great.
Okay. Hey, have a great day and have a great continuation.
Right.
And talk to you later.
Okay. Talk to you later.
Okay.
Thank
bye-bye.
you, Luthien. Good night. Light top.
Night.
Blessings.
Thanks.
Okay. Yeah, and so I mean, I'm glad that Luthien hung around as long as she did. Wow, that was great.
Yeah. Well, she's in the Netherlands, which is like UTC +1, so
Yes.
it's quite late for her. It's getting I guess
pretty.
close to midnight.
It's kind of going around 10, 11 o'clock for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do remember. So, okay. So you know what? I'm going to hang around for a few more questions just to make sure. Eluenda says, thank you, Luthien.
And I'll be here
it was
too.
really nice having the three of you all together for this. Excellent. I'm glad that you like that.
Oh, thank
we're going to try to do it again next month.
Yeah. Yeah, next month will be Turalhalme, the Elven version of Yule. So that's basically what our next.
Yeah, and also Isilhisimë, which is the Elven moon of the frosty cold. John Smith says, hey, everyone, quick question. Where is the forum? Okay, John, if you go down to the description in this video that you're watching right now, there is a link where you can click on it and it'll allow you to use your Facebook login. Now, if you would rather use your email for login, you can go to forum.westofwest.org, or you can go to westofwest.org and click the forum. Either way, you'll get in. And thank you for asking. We welcome you. Let's see. Here, John. Okay. Vera says, I almost told on another site that it wasn't fiction, but I withdrew my comment because I knew that they were not ready to hear that. They see Lord of the Rings as just a fiction story. So, Vera, do you mean that they were, are they like quoting huge parts of the book, and are they charging money? Because they're allowed to quote, and but they just can't quote all of it, okay? And they cannot make money with it. So that's the thing. So, and here's another application. If Tolkien himself wrote a poem, they cannot extract that, make a song, even if it's their own music, but they put his lyrics to a song, they're not allowed to charge money for it unless they get permission from the estate, and then the estate will want to license. And that's expensive.
I think what she meant is that they weren't ready in worldview. They probably had the Western overcultural worldview that Tolkien wrote fiction and that's end of story, full stop. Okay,
but are they? Okay, my question though is, was this group writing their own fiction? In other words, were they using the Middle Earth canon to write their own fiction, like meaning the characters and everything of Middle Earth, and then creating their own, which is technically called fan fiction, by the way. Fan fiction is legal as long as nobody sells it. Okay? They have to do it in a way that is free for the public. They cannot sell it. Let's see. Okay, Eluenda says, I think I don't have the permissions at the West of West forum user to view the PDF copy, so thank you for the mega link.
I'll have to tell Luthien about that.
We'll have to change that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll make a note of it.
So we'll make a note of that. Thank you, Eluenda. Eluenda also says to Vera, that sucks, but some people just don't have room to hear about what is important to others. And she says, I offer hugs. The popular view that fiction cannot be more than just entertainment really holds a lot of people back. It's true. It does. And part of the reason is that because, I think that much modern fiction is in the imaginal realm. okay, rather than in that deep place. But Tolkien, to me, is an exception to that. I really do believe that he went ancient into his work, and he recovered a lot of things that were lost before. So we think that it's modern, but it's not. He like recovered it. And there's a difference between that and then just being inspired by like all of the old tales and things like that. So I just think that I'm not saying I'm against fictional, you know, obviously I'm not, or else I wouldn't be doing this at all. I'm not against fictional bases of spiritual systems. And in fact, I have, you know, like a good pagan friend of mine, Taylor Elwood, actually wrote a book on pop culture magic. If you are interested, check that out. It's pretty cool. I like the concept of doing all of that. However, to me, Tolkien is like a totally different other thing. Like to me, it's not really fiction. It's like he went into like just a source of energy, like that was so like lost to humanity and brought that forth again. And I think that he did it because of not only his ability to do it, but his linguistic understanding, because the language came to him well before, you know, the whole unfoldment of the stories. And I would say that Tolkien is probably the best linguist, maybe of all time, but definitely in the last probably century or two, for sure. Okay. Elwenda has a heart. Okay. And then Vera says, no, it was a Lord of the Rings site on Facebook. They said Lord of the Rings was just fiction. Oh, it's a fan site, right? Like they're fans of Lord of the Rings. That's legal. As long as they're not charging money for, you know, Tolkien's material, and that they're integrating their fan fiction or something like that and charging money, then it's illegal. But they weren't doing anything like that. Okay, so it's just a fan group, and they think it's fiction. And by the way, that's 99% of the groups. They definitely do not think that it is a spiritual path, and that is okay, because we don't care what other people think. That might be for them, right?
Precisely.
Like,
yeah,
they, you know, they align with whatever it is they align with, and they could be atheists, they could be Christians. You know, I do think that pagans are more open-minded these days about, like, I mean, but even back in the day, remember when we started, Dave? Like, pagans
we got major.
I remember.
We got more flack from pagans than we got from Christians.
We definitely did.
Like quite a bit.
Yeah, they were telling us we didn't know the ways of Gerald Gardner, and I'm like, why would we follow that guy that was telling all the women to be naked? You know, no. And by the way, like, hey, if they want to do what they want to do, that's fine. But Gerald Gardner, to me, is no god. Okay.
I often wondered what the women got out of it. I can see what he got out of it, but what did the women get?
Well, I think that there was a lot of, so how do I describe this for you, Dave? Okay, so because I'm an energy worker, I'll try, okay? There are a lot of people out there that do not know how to process energy from the ground of the earth and from the sky above and channel it through so that they have energy, okay? And I'm talking about spiritual energy. I'm not talking about physical energy. Physical energy, we, you know what, we drink water, we eat food, right? So that's a physical energy. I'm talking about spiritual energy. So spiritual energy, we are supposed to be grounded to the planet of Earth, and Earth supports all of us as the source of the all that is. And then the source is also in the sky, if you will, okay, in the heavens, right? And we're supposed to integrate all of those energies within us and then operate accordingly. Because humans have been so removed from their spiritual systems, what happens is that people tend, and they don't do it consciously, okay, some do it consciously and they're dangerous, but the ones that don't do it consciously, they tend to feed energy off of other humans. Okay, so you see this thing, the psychic vampire thing is actually very real. Okay,
I didn't realize it was the same operation, but okay.
Yes, and they don't know that they're doing. So this is not like hating on psych vamps. Okay, that's not what's going on here. Okay, this is an awareness piece, and many of us have had trauma that literally removes our spiritual source, so that is what we don't know that's what happened, and we haven't healed what's happened. So then we end up, like, we need other people. And so then now there's other people that cast off energy, like, once they're like doing stuff and they're excited, or they're, and they cast off energy. And there's ways that you can even capture that energy. So you'll see people that, like, they want to be around other people. They love the crowds. They want all of this stuff. That's because they're getting energy from it. Okay. Now, not saying that we can't all enjoy, like a crowd and the energy upliftment and all of that. Not saying that. I'm talking about people who are not able to ground into the earth for the source energy, and the source energy from the sky, the sun, the moon, like
right.
all of the stars, the whole sky, right? So what we are trying to do with the Elven path is, and this is why we ground with the tree roots into the ground. This is why we do it in our ritual. Like, we ground in with the tree roots and we reach with the branches to the sky, because we're trying to, for people who are, disconnected from some of those systems, we're trying to gently heal those things and allow some of these trauma imprints to fall away that are no longer really applicable for humans, okay? And for them to access the actual source energy again, okay? It's kind of, it's gently moving them in that direction, okay? Now, with what you're talking about, what Gerald Gardner was doing, okay, was gathering energy. And again, many people don't understand how energy works. So let me explain what can happen here. And I'm not going to say that, he played a role. I mean, he definitely brought, us out of the dark ages of the, you have to be Christian and all of this stuff. So he was an important figure. Okay. So, but if you're talking about energy harvesting, okay, now, I think that it was good that he at least was very clear about that that's what he was doing, okay? Like, he was pretty, like, hey, let's generate energy. Like, this is for this, and then he wanted to direct it to things, right? Mm-hmm. So he at least was clear about that. But his methods, for people who are in trauma and that don't know, like, what it's like to be grounded to the source and in spirit, what happens is when they are involved in these things, like, he's generating energy, like, like with removal of clothing, and there's a lot of energy flowing, people feel a rush of energy, but they think that it's a rush of energy coming into them. Mm-hmm. But it's the same sensation as if the energy was leaving them. So he was harvesting the energy.
Okay, it's just but
they felt high in a way. It's like feeling high. Yeah. Okay, because the energy is running. It's running really fast. And whether it's coming in or whether it's leaving, it doesn't matter. It's the movement that they're addicted to, if that makes sense. Okay. So that's what I think that they got out of it. But eventually, either A, they grounded into the source and then they were filled with the energy. So if you're doing it right, and by the way, you can generate energy this way and be flowing in the energy and still really full of the energy. So you could do this, okay? Or you're very drained And that is when you know that it's not the right thing. So it would depend upon each individual about why they were there, what they were getting out of it, and, you know, their own healing path and their own traumas and their own, you know, separation from spirit and all of those types of things.
Right.
I'm not going to fault Gerald Gardner for other people's wounds. I mean, certainly, you know, I do think that, and maybe he didn't even know consciously that he was taking advantage of that. Like maybe he wanted to heal them too, and you know, and thought, oh, let's move the energy and stuff like that. So I'm not here to talk crap, okay, about Gerald Gardner. But what I'm saying is that, and maybe what it was is that these women that like got involved in this, maybe they needed the awareness that they needed healing to begin with, and maybe he was a catalyst for that. And so I will be thankful for that. And many, okay, I'm going to just say this. I've been in a lot of pagan paths. You know, I've been in circles with them. I've had to, you know, just absolutely protect myself with my energy in many circles because it is like a vampire festival.
Right.
And they don't know it. They think it's a party because like they're raising energy and they're doing all the stuff and they're putting it in the cone and like we want to manifest this and they're at least, you know, like as a group trying to work together towards, you know, their group goals and it's okay. But the way that I work is very different than the way that they work. So what'll happen to me is I'll end up visiting, and if I'm not careful, I mean, I'm literally drained after I go. Okay.
I just wanted to explain it. It just the whole idea of I'm a solitary shamanic practitioner, and the way I do things is very different. So just the whole idea of energy harvesting just seems strange to me. I can project it if I'm going into a battle, but that's different, you know.
Okay, well, Dave, okay, so I'm just going to say this, and this is kind of, I guess, it's a public video, so I'll be careful. But I'm just going to say that, Dave, your energetic signature is so different that I don't think that the types of humans that feed on human energy know how to access you. And that's okay.
Yeah, we mentioned it before.
You vibrate differently, and part of it might be, you know, the Asperger's or, you know, like, and other life experiences that you've had that are very different than, you know, and also your past, like, and I know that you don't believe in past lives or anything, but you do believe in ancestors. So, like, things that, like, your ancestors may have mastered that you carry in your DNA that you don't even know that they did.
That makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
And people they don't have a key to get into Dave. Okay. So you might not know how that feels, and that's good. Okay. And there is a gift in that. And then the gift that I have that like where the energy is accessed is I have empathy for people. Like I can feel like exactly what's going on with them. Right. So there's a gift in being able to, you know, like know how all of this stuff works. My job is to clear it out of my body and say, thank you, got the message, and let it go and transmute and go back to love and joy and nourishing that and just regrounding, redoing everything. And I mean, I ground several times a day. Do you see this tab here? Okay. This is one of my grounding tabs.
Oh, okay. That's what that is.
And I'm wearing it for videos because video is another way that energy harvesting can happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that the one that's made out of that special carbon material?
Yeah, something is. Yeah. Well, now I do have some shungites here too.
Okay.
That, yeah. I think I showed you guys these before. So these are my shungites that are in the platonic solids.
Yep.
So this one is the fire one, right? This one is the air, I believe. Right? This one is the earth, the cube. And I think that this one is the water one, the one with all the triangles, yeah, and then this one is for spirit, which has all pentagrams all the way around. So that was fun. I got these in Sedona when I visited like a little while ago. So I have those around too, and then I've got black tourmalines and, you know, other things. But yeah, I need a lot of things that help me keep my energy like separate from other people's, because if I don't have that, because I already know what's going on with them, it just gets into my body and it'll circulate around, and it's painful. And so unfortunately, if it helped them deal with less pain and it was just partially on me, then it would be like better. But unfortunately, it doesn't have that effect. It does not lessen the pain of the person. Mm-hmm. I just get amplified with pain, and yeah, it's hard for me to function that way. So I have to, you know, keep my energy field really clear. But the advantage of that is that I get instant communication because I know how feeling works. It's longer to communicate through sight, like, you know, being able to see something, like you don't understand it until, like, you know, when you're watching a movie and you don't understand it, and then then you get it. Right. Okay. The empathy thing is like a really fast communication. Like, here's the movie, here's how it feels. Like it's just fast. Okay, and sometimes that speed is a very good thing, and as long as I can say, okay, got the message, but I have to, and as a Capricorn, I have to physically clear it out of my system a lot of times. I can do the energetic, like, intention and all of that, but then I have to take my showers, you know, with salts. I have to, like, do vinegar to cut any psychic debris away. I have to, like, spray, like, sage around me, or, like, use smudge and things like that. So that's just me, though. You may not have to do any of those things, Dave, but you also, like, go, I don't get it, right? I don't get humans. Yeah, I know.
Well, that's true. But, you know.
But just know that you have a strength that is different, okay? And it's a good strength. It's a very good strength. You know, but yeah, that's the drawback on it, is that, like, other people don't get you, but you don't get them either. Right. Although I think you do really good, personally. You know, with our path, I don't have very many, like, misunderstandings, you know, with you, really, you know.
Well, I'm willing to work with people if I don't understand something, or even if I get irritated about something. I'm not just going to say, no, I shall never speak to you again, or whatever. You know?
Well, and you are a lot more literal, and I can deal with that, because I would prefer the truth over being lied to. So I'm cool like that. But a lot of people, yeah, they're like, even when it's truth bombs, you know, they're like just not into it. So yeah, there's your, you know, one of your Tia Eldaliéva lessons for the day, right? So I'm going to let all of you guys get going. Thank you. And Vera, okay, I'm going to read a couple of other things that were typed here. No, they weren't charging. Okay, so then they're probably in their legal ramifications. That was my first comment on that site, saying it isn't fiction. Oh, I see. And then withdrew the comment. Oh, okay. And actually, I can understand that. I don't go around telling everybody, you know, like, so I do it differently. Okay, so I say things something like, wow, I can see how somebody would think that this is only fiction. But for me, it's more than that. And I just leave the mystery there, right? So that it's not outright attacking them, saying, screw you guys, this isn't fiction, right? Because that is like, fighting words, you know, like, instead, I talk about, I validate their worldview, and then say my worldview is a little different. It's just different. And if they are intrigued, then they'll ask me. If they say, screw that, I don't care what their opinion is, nothing lost, right? Now, when you say things like that, and then you still get attacked, again, we're talking about energy harvesters. They do this for harvesting energy, because, like, you didn't say anything that would, like, offend them. You're saying, hey, you have a valid opinion. I just see things differently than that. And then like they feel like they have to convince you. It's like, okay, that's a boundary issue. What's going on there? Oh, wait, they might be trying to energy harvest, right? So, and they don't even know this, okay? So this is just like, you guys need to know this, and you guys are on the Elven path, so you guys need, you guys need to know this energy management stuff, okay? I wasn't ready for the drama. Oh, and nor should you endure that drama is where I'm going with that.
Oh my God.
Okay, absolutely no drama. Okay, that's why elves did not get involved in the affairs of men. Okay, like plenty of stories in there about the Tolkien, that says that the elves did not get involved with, human politics and all kinds of stuff.
What you were saying, Lisa, it reminded me of that whole episode. Wow, over 10 years ago now. With the whole skeptics forum that found us, we didn't.
Yes. Oh my God.
They found us. We didn't do anything to them.
Yeah, and then they were like challenging us, like, you have to think the way we do, and it's like, actually, we can think whatever we want, and we didn't tell you that, how to think. You guys think what you want. We're going to think what we want. And yeah, they tracked us down and then decided that they were going to bore into us, like with their thought process about what skepticism is, right?
Yeah, we had to basically...
And then they looked, because they were so emotional, they did not look skeptical at all.
Exactly. Apparently their master plan was that we should convert to skepticism and atheism, renounce all spirituality, and think as they do. So, and if we didn't do that, then we were, to use the Christian term, damned for all time.
Or something. Which is, I mean, and how religious is that? Like, I mean, that's not skeptical at all. Eluenda says, oh God, just hearing Skeptics Forum is like, that could be just some kind of drama. Oh my God. And it was a shitstorm of drama. Okay, just to be honest with you.
Just to let you know.
And interestingly, so Dave, and I remember this, Dave and I kind of, Dave might have poked the pig, okay, a little bit, because that's kind of Dave, right? He's like, you guys are stupid. I'm going to show you, right?
I didn't post on the forum.
But then there was other people that were at the time, back 10 years ago, that they were kind of loosely involved with us. They're not involved anymore. But they really got invested in no, we are going to do, all of this stuff. And I'm like, oh no, we got to stop this.
Ravenwolf actually posted on their forum.
Yes, and see, he's not really with our group anymore. But yes, he did this very emotional, and basically did not convince them that we were logical people, right? It was so crazy. Yeah. So, I guess our hit on this is that, it's not like our worldviews that make us crazy. It's our boundary issues, right?
Exactly. Yep.
I mean, I'm not going to tell you what to believe. You know what I'm saying? It's just so weird. And the people that claim to be really scientific are the most emotional people ever, and they are the most religiously devout to science, which then doesn't make it science anymore. It makes it a religion.
Weird, isn't it? I mean...
Yeah, it's like the religion of science, okay? Ugh, yuck. LOL, wow. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, you should have been around 10 years ago with our entertainment of, anyway. We have we have Elven energy management lessons. We have, what else do we have going on today?
I just wanted to mention, just to end this part about the forum. I popped into my head like 3 or 4 months back, and I searched my email and got the link. That their whole forum no longer exists unless they moved it somewhere else with a different name, because it simply isn't there.
And we're probably not surprised.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, if they were starting shit with us, and we're pretty obscure, okay? Exactly. How did they find us? Is that was my main question. It's kind of like, you know, the Christians that wanted to shut down the store that was selling porn behind the counter, so that it's like, well, wait a minute, how did you guys know that it was there, right? It's like that. It's like they had to go out of their way to find us.
Yeah, exactly. That.
And then give us shit for existing. It's like, wait a minute. If you were so amazing, why would you care about us? And why would you have to like convince us to be like you? Wow.
I mean,
there's some issues there, dude. You know,
they were as intransigent and malign as, you know. It put me in mind of somebody in the old Soviet Union, you know, being captured and having the GRU say, "Give us a name. We need a name." You know.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Wow. Well, I think that we should let our folks go here. It's kind of running late. We're running on like a couple of hours now, like 2:10 it says in here over here in Cali land. So listen, you guys, it's been wonderful, and I hope you guys learned something about even after, like, you know, I guess our after discussion is pretty deep here, and sometimes we do these things, and it's even better like when we do these on private rituals. And if any of you wish to join our Patreon page, feel free to check out Linktree, and I believe it's down in the link, and then you'll see the little P for Patreon like in the links. We have a $5 level and a $10 level, and we're going to be adding more levels if you want certain merch. Like, for instance, like, you know, we're going to be adding like a coffee cup and then like a t-shirt. Right now, if you are a member, I think it's for something like 2 or 3 months. And so all of you that are already members, this is already going to happen unless they don't have your address. So make sure that Patreon has your address. You're going to get a sticker if you are part of the $5 level, and you'll get the same sticker and also like a little piece of art, like a 3x5 piece of art, if you are a teacher level. And we're working on getting more things in the merch area for you guys. So, and then we'll have different levels of like what you can do, like support wise for those types of things. And what I really like is Patreon handles all of it for us. We just have to upload everything and make it good. So we'll be working with, yeah, thank you. Oh, thank you, Eluenda. We're so happy that you got to come on. So she's one of our newest patrons, and we're excited to be sending out you guys' stainless steel necklaces. We're really, really excited about that. I can't wait till, you know, you guys share these on Instagram or like, you know, whatever it is. It'll be so great because, you know, we've been sharing our digital stars. You know, we put a star on our picture, but now we have like actual jewelry, and we're going to actually have even better jewelry later on. We're going to be working with Peter Stone Jewelry, and I have to just get situated and, you know, get a hold of that file, because it's not easy doing all of this. And also we have to, you know, get some other stuff like handled administratively that we need to do, since I'm going to be still in California. And so there's some things that we're still working on, but hey, it's all getting done. Everything is working out. And you guys, thank you for being you. Thank you for being brave in this world and accessing your elven energy, and also the elven wisdom that was displayed in J.R.R. Tolkien's stories that we want all humanity to enjoy. Okay? Laita and blessings to all of you. You want to say bye, Dave? Yeah, exactly. Peter Stone. Yes, we're going to have Peter Stone jewelry. Okay? Stay tuned. Okay? Good night to all over in the EU, and have a wonderful day and weekend to all of our USA peeps. Laita. Blessings.